What's going on, guys? Back at you guys with a quick little presentation. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Oh, yeah. In this presentation, guys, I want to talk to you guys about what we're going to talk about today. What we're going to talk about today. Someone left a comment, and I felt that I would make a presentation talking about this. Someone wanted me to talk about urban fatigue. Now, urban fatigue is real. We know it's real. I know you guys have seen, the videos with people talking about black fatigue and things of that nature. Um, Whoever wanted, that's why I'm making this presentation because the person left that comment. But this is my thoughts on black fatigue. I feel other ethnic groups of people, they understand how the urban community is. They understand how our culture doesn't glorify nothing positive. They understand it. Even other ethnic groups of people, they see it. They see the dysfunction and all the negativity within the urban community. Other ethnic groups of people see it, and they're speaking out about it. Um, the urban culture, it used to be positive long time ago in the old days, but now it's not positive at all. Um, and other ethnic groups of people are tired. They're tired of uh, these negative stereotypes. They tired of it all. I'm tired of it myself. Um, in the urban community, we see a lot of negative things in our culture, but you get seen as a sellout in an Uncle Tom if you speak out about the negativity that you see within the community. Um, the urban culture doesn't glorify nothing positive. I've said it numerous of times. Um, this is why other ethnic groups of people have the negative impressions that they have of the urban community. I had to come to terms and understand that if I was not a brother, a lot of the negative experiences that I've had in my life, I would have never had them. That's why I'm not beating myself up no more, because I truly believe if I was a man of another ethnicity, my life wouldn't have been so bad. I wouldn't have had all these negative experiences in my life. But as a brother, when you're not from the streets and you don't live um, a certain lifestyle, you're not going to be respected, unfortunately. And the stuff that should get you respect doesn't get you respect in the urban community. See, in other ethnic groups of people, getting the education, being a decent person, bettering your life, doing positive things, that's celebrated in other ethnic groups. But in the urban culture, that's looked down upon. You're shunned for doing the right thing in the urban community. You're shunned uh, if you don't act hood, if you don't act gangster, if you don't have a prison record. You know, um, you're shunned and outcasted in our culture. That's because things are just totally backwards within urban culture. Um, Other ethnic groups of people, they're celebrated for bettering themselves and trying to get an education and just trying to be a decent human beings. But in the urban community, that's not going to get you celebrated in the urban community. That's going to get you looked at as a lame, and that's going to get you looked at as a sellout, unfortunately. But that's the urban community. um, the things that should get you respect, the things that should get you celebrated, um, that's not gonna get you celebrated in the urban community. You get celebrated in the community for selling drugs, for going to prison, for being a murderer, for being a gang member. You get celebrated for that in the urban community. While in other ethnic groups of people, you get celebrated for graduating college. You get celebrated for starting a business, positive things. But positive things is not celebrated in our culture, unfortunately. Uh, I know a lot of people, especially even in the urban community, they have black fatigue as well. You got a lot of people right in the urban community, they sick of the culture. They sick of the community. So that should tell you a whole lot. Um, I've never been able to truly understand urban culture. And I'm to a point where it's good that I never understood urban culture. I don't want to understand urban culture. I don't want to understand a negative culture, no way. You know? Urban culture, just like Charleston White said, uh, it's not about anything positive. So I think it's good that I never understood the urban community, because why try to understand a culture that is negative, a culture that's not positive? What's the point in understanding a negative culture? A culture that's all about selling drugs, a culture that's all about being a gang member, a culture that's all about being a thought, a culture that's all about being slutty, like Sexy Red. Uh, why try to understand a culture that is not positive, that doesn't glorify nothing positive? I feel good that I never understood the black culture. I never understood black culture. Still don't understand it. Don't care to understand it. But I just noticed that in our community, if you're not in line with the culture, you get seen as a sellout, you get seen as lame, a cornball, all of these negative things. But in other ethnic groups of people, you don't get looked at that way, just for doing normal, regular stuff. In the urban community, you're only celebrated for degeneracy in the urban community. You're not celebrated for nothing positive in the urban community. In the urban community, you only celebrated for negativity, for going to jail, selling dope, being a gang member. It's sad. And this is why a lot of ethnic groups of people don't want nothing to do with the urban community. Can you blame them for not wanting nothing to do with the urban community? Who want to be bothered with that negativity? Who want to be bothered with that ignorance? Nobody wants to be bothered with that. And this is why other cultures look at Black America the way that they do, because intelligence is not something that is celebrated in Black America. Unfortunately, it's sad. It really is. But in the urban community, you only get respected for dumb stuff in the urban community. That's what's so dumb about the urban community. You only get respect and celebrated for dumb stuff. You don't get celebrated or respected for nothing positive. You get celebrated for being a gangster. You get celebrated for being somebody that's always in trouble. Somebody that's always getting locked up, going to prison, messing up their life. You get celebrated for dumb things in the urban community. You don't get celebrated for nothing positive. Will that ever change? I don't know. I just know that in the urban community, I just know that the mindset in the urban community, I don't think is going to ever change, because Black people like being hood. In the urban community, when you have a community of people that like being hood, they like being gangsters, they like being murderers. When you have a culture that just glorifies and celebrates nothing but negativity, I mean, in my personal opinion, there's no hope for that culture. There's no hope for that culture. I have urban fatigue, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have urban fatigue. If you have urban fatigue, and you're a brother, put a 100 in the comments of this presentation, because the culture is negative. I mean, Charleston White said it best. Urban culture glorifies nothing but negativity. It's not about celebrating nothing positive. It's not about being a decent person. You know, I wish I was alive back in the old days, you know, when the urban culture was different. Because the urban culture didn't always used to be gangster. Urban culture didn't always used to be hood and ratchet. That wasn't always the face of urban culture. That wasn't always the face of urban culture. But unfortunately, that's just the way that it is now. This is the face of urban culture. Being hood, being gangster, wearing bonnets on your head in public. I know you guys see it. Sisters wearing bonnets on their head out in public, just ghetto. It's sad. It's sad what urban culture has become, guys. And this is why the urban culture will never elevate. Because the urban culture is all about being hood, being gangster, being a drug dealer. It's all about negativity, you know? And I don't blame other ethnic groups of people for having black fatigue, because I got urban fatigue as well. And a lot of other brothers and sisters have it as well, because the culture doesn't celebrate nothing positive, you know? The culture just celebrates being a gangster. It celebrates negativity. And if you know, as a brother or sister, if you speak out against the negativity in the community, oh, you a sellout. You not real. You're not real. Well, if you're not real because you don't want to adapt to this negative culture, well, I guess I just won't be real. I guess I will be a sellout then. That's how I look at it. If I'm a sellout or an Uncle Tom, well, that goes for any brother or sister. If any brother or sister is a sellout or an Uncle Tom because they speak against the negativity within urban culture, then just be a sellout then. Who cares? If you a sellout, if you an Uncle Tom because you speak out against the negativity within the black community, then you'll just be that. I don't care. Because this culture is a culture that is it's just not edifying. And this is why other ethnic groups of people don't want nothing to do with the urban community. You got Africans who feel some kind of way about black Americans. They do. Can you blame them though? Can you blame Africans for feeling some kind of way about black Americans? I mean, just look at the mentality they have. Just look at the mindset. That's why I say it's other brothers and sisters that have urban fatigue. It's not just other ethnic groups of people that have it. But you guys leave your comments. Let me know what you think. If you a sellout, just remember, if you a sellout because you don't conform or you don't conform or you don't see eye to eye with the negativity in the urban community, if you a sellout because of that, then you'll just be a sellout. Who cares? Because I notice anyone who speaks against the negativity in the urban community, they're always shunned and they're always seen as a sellout and an Uncle Tom. Well, if I'm a sellout and an Uncle Tom because I speak against the negativity in my culture, then I'll be that. And that's the mindset that any brother or sister should have. If you a sellout, if you an Uncle Tom because you speak against the negativity within black culture, then so be it. As far as I'm concerned, and this is the mindset that a lot of other people need to have. There's nothing wrong with being an Uncle Tom. But you guys have a good day. Happy Tuesday.